Next driver we have called into the show. She drives the 03 for Lee Pullman Performance on the Cars Tour and for Rev Racing on the ARCA Series. Driver Lanie Buice. Thank you for your time, Lanie, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. You're no stranger to late models and, of course, Florence. What did it mean for you to be tapped to drive for Lee Pullman in the 03, a car that won both the Owners and Drivers' Championships at the Cars Tour last season?
It's just truly a blessing. Super thankful for the opportunity and Lee Pulliam and all he does for me, and obviously Folsom Fin Supply. He's an incredible sponsor, and he's done a lot for me. So I'm super thankful for him supporting me. And obviously, Lee Pulliam is the best of the best. So being able to be a part of the team and being in the O3 and having a little bit of stronger eyes on me just because I am in the O3, which is something that I think is really cool. And I like to say pressure is a privilege. So super thankful for the hard work that they do to get me on the racetrack every single week. And yeah, it's been a good year so far. It's definitely been some pressure, but it's been good, and I'm learning a ton, and I think that's one of the most important things.
Awesome. Thanks so much for going over the switch to Lee Pullman. Before we get into the Cars Tour action from Ace, you make your ARCA debut at Rockingham with Rev Racing. How were you feeling going into that race, and how did you feel finishing on the lead lap in the P8 position?
Yeah, super thankful for Rev Racing and the opportunity they've given me to be a part of the team. NASCAR's driver development program has been incredible to me, and I'm just super thankful for all they do for me and giving me the opportunity to go to a place like Rockingham with all the history that it has, and it being my debut as well as the track coming back into the circuit was a super cool thing and just really cool to be a part of. I was a little bit nervous about the weekend. I didn't get any sim time that weekend, and so the first time I saw the track was actually on track. So I thought that was pretty neat, and it was a really good weekend for us. It was a challenge, and I feel like I like to be challenged, so it was super fun to go into the weekend not really knowing what to expect. We qualified well. We qualified fifth, and just did the best that we could with making as little mistakes as we could, which is something I try to do every single weekend, is just limiting mistakes and trying to be as consistent as possible and continuing to just learn as much as I can. And I think that's how we approached the Rockingham weekend, and ended up being really well. We finished eighth. Honestly, I think we could have done a little bit better. I still made a few mistakes and stuff I have to clean up, and so I learned from it, and we went on to the next weekend.
Awesome. Thanks so much for going over that race. A couple
Yeah.
weeks ago on the Cars Tour from Ace Speedway, you come out with a top five finish in the P4 spot. What was your mindset throughout the race, and how did you feel with that finish?
Yeah, the Car Store series for me so far this season hasn't gone the best. We've done well. We've had good strong pace, and we've been able to prove that we deserve to be running up front. We just haven't had anything to capitalize on it. So, Ace for me and the Lee Pulliam Performance team was a really good turnaround, I think, and I know it's going to carry into this weekend to North Wilkesboro. Um, but like you said, like I finished P4, and it was a really good race. We qualified second, just 2 thousandths off the pole, which super crazy. And I wish that would have been my first career pole, but I think we're going to be close to getting some more this year. So we're just continuing to do stuff like that and just continue to make waves and push throughout the series and make a name for myself. I mean, it's really hard competing in the Cars Tour, and I learned that especially last weekend being at Ace. And the field was super, super tight, like always, and I had to fight to keep the position up front. So, all the things I learned, and we had lots of restarts and lots of opportunities for me to be able to just learn even more than what you can learn running. An eighth or 10th. I mean, you learn even more on the front row. So, it was a great experience for me.
Awesome. Really hope you can get your first pole and hopefully a win this year. You're headed to the North Wilkesboro on the Cars Tour Friday night. How are you going to use the momentum from Ace to learn more at North Wilkesboro?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Ace was what we really needed to be able to carry into Wilkesboro. Wilkesboro is a tough track. It's bigger. It's pretty big for the late model stock. So, it's a little bit different than what Ace is. Ace is a hard braking track, so it's a little bit different there. But, yeah, everything it kind of goes over to, on the restarts and just doing a better job at and being more aggressive, keeping my elbows out, and just being able to race these guys the same way they race me. And I think we all respect each other, and I always have a great time running super hard with those guys and racing side by side. And everybody in late model racing, you kind of have to move some people out of the way, and they're going to do it to you, which is something that's really neat to me. It's just good, hard racing, and yeah, I'm excited to do that this weekend. I feel like I learned a ton at Ace and what I could do better and where I could be more aggressive and more intentional and what to do better, more consistent, and all across the board. I feel like from Ace, I feel like we had an opportunity to win that race. It's just some things that I needed to clean up. I mean, if I never lost the lead, I think we could have led every lap. So things like that and just cleaning it up and doing a better job for myself. I had some things I need to work on, and I've just never been in that position before. So good thing I get to work on it now and go into North Wilkesboro with a little bit of a better headspace and feeling more prepared for the weekend.
Got it. Just like you mentioned, always great competition and great viewing, watching the races on the Cars Tour. You'll be back in the ARCA seat for Charlotte. You mentioned a couple mistakes you made in Rockingham. What are your goals for that weekend in Charlotte?
Yeah, we ran Kansas last weekend, and Kansas went really, really well. Super, super thankful for the team again. They did a phenomenal job. We didn't qualify super well. We started 12th, but we finished. We were running eighth before, I mean sixth before an incident, so we ultimately finished eighth. But a super good momentum. I learned how to rip the fence, so I think that was something that was really neat to me. I've never done that before, so yeah, I think going from Kansas to Charlotte will help me a ton. I learned a ton about the air at Kansas, and it's even more important at Kansas than it was at Rockingham. So, yeah, taking those things that I learned from Rockingham and Kansas and carrying them over to Charlotte. Charlotte's really, it's a tough place. It's a tough place to get around. It's really fast just because of how narrow it is. It feels a little bit faster than some of the other places, and then yeah, so I think those things will definitely help me to be better at Charlotte, and I kind of know what the air feels like and how not to try not to make as many mistakes as what I have in the past, which is totally normal, but it's you still want to limit as many mistakes as possible. So, yeah, just doing a better job at that this weekend. Next weekend at Charlotte's going to be super important, and I'm looking for a really good finish. And yeah.
Awesome. Really appreciate you breaking that down. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be watching you on FS1 for the late model race at North Wilkesboro, and best of luck in Charlotte a couple weeks later.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Hope to have you on before the season ends.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you.
Yep, have a good one. Thanks, Landy.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.
See ya.